Hey everyone, Garrett from Naked and Famous Denim here. Today we're going to be looking at the Solid Black Selvedge and how it goes from this all the way to this. But before we get into it, do me a big favor, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. So these were sent in by fan Eric M. So I want to thank Eric for sending these in. He actually sent in a few pairs, and of those few pairs, he said they were worn for roughly 7 years, and maybe the newer ones 3 to 5 years, but these have been worn quite a bit. They were all worn in Victoria, BC, Canada, which is a very beautiful part of British Columbia. And he's living the BC lifestyle, of course. So he was doing a lot of cycling, a lot of rock climbing, even some surfing on the beach in his jeans. And he said several of them hadn't been washed, but often got wet during rainy biking days, which there definitely is some evidence on these, and we'll get into that. He also mentioned that they're all weird guy pairs and that he eventually switched over to the easy guy fit because he found he was getting less rips on his cycling trips. So let's get into it. We'll do a quick show of the front and the back, but just look at the amazing denim evolution on these guys. There's a lot to talk about. So starting from the front here, we can see here that this is quite an old pair just because of this old woven label on the back that's been stitched all the way around. The newer ones just have it on the two sides. Moving down, we can see there's quite a bit of brassing on the front buttons and on the rivets. And you'll notice something too that you don't see a lot, which is there's kind of a greenish blue tinge around all of the rivets and the buttons. This is actually corrosion. So this pair was probably left in the wet, and we can see here that there's that green rust forming on all of the rivets and all the buttons, which is a really cool feature. But generally, I don't recommend leaving your jeans staying wet. They're gonna, not be good for everything else. But moving down here, we got some wear on the fly placket. You'll notice it's actually a lot shorter because the weird guy used to have a lot less front rise, and some nice whiskers here on the fabric here. The solid black is fading beautifully to a light gray color. Moving down, again, we got a lot of wear and tear on the crotch area, quite a bit of repairs, some intense blowouts. This is what having a very active lifestyle and doing a lot of cycling in your bike will do. Coming down a little bit lower on the lap, we have this really cool rip here where it looks like it ripped on two spots and then formed into this piece here in this kind of rectangular shape, which is interesting. I've never really seen anything like that. And then coming down to the knees, no rips on the knees, but again, a decent amount of wear on the knees. And down on the shins area, we can see a little bit of marbling. So that's probably because of the washing that he did. Maybe he didn't turn them inside out, and so you're gonna get kind of a marbling effect. Down to the bottom here now, this is something you don't see too often, where someone has lengthened the jeans. So I guess at one point in time, they may have been hemmed and they were just a little too short, and he has uncuffed or unhemmed them, lengthened them with the scraps of his hem. So interesting, you got basically like a double hem here. You can see that this one is less faded and this is more faded, so they were added back on partway through the wearing of the jean, and you can see a little bit of actually the difference between the roping on that one and this one, and then they've been cuffed at different points as well. Moving on to the back, this is where things get really crazy. We got the leather patch, which is kind of in this hourglass shape here, and still in very good condition. Moving down the pockets, a lot of wear and tear on the pockets area in the back. You can see it looks like there was a wallet or something being kept here. Big holes, a lot of repairs going on. It almost kind of looks like borrow cloth to me. Again, more repairs on the seat area, rips on both sides, rips at the bottom of the pockets, and then coming down here to the lower part of the seat and extending into the crotch, where you have some insane blowout action and very intense repairs. Although it doesn't seem like there's too much fabric buildup, so they look like they're still probably comfortable to wear, but quite intense repairs, probably some of the most intense blowout repairs I've ever seen. But it does look very cool. Moving down to the bottom, We got some really nice whiskers, a really tight pattern, or sorry, honeycombs on the back here. So tight honeycombs and little cracks forming at the bottom here. I always find the cracks tend to form a little bit more on the bottom rather than the top of the combs. And then more marbling coming down on the back of the shins. A little bit, looks like there was some type of damage here. You might have gotten caught on something. It looks like it was cut, or maybe some barbed wire or something at that point. There's definitely an interesting little bit of damage there. And then finally, again, we get down to where we've had the jeans lengthened. So let's do a quick side by side here. That's the faded pair. That's the new pair. So quite a dramatic change from the before to the after. And just a really beautiful pair of the Solid Black Selvedge. So, you know, sometimes people think, oh, black jeans don't really fade. That's, of course, not true at all. This is just an amazing pair that's been worn extra hard and faded to perfection. So I really want to thank Eric for sending this pair in. If you have any pairs that you're not wearing anymore that are very faded, send us an email, and if they qualify, we'll send you a label to send them in, and we'll hook you up with a discount code for your next order. I think that's going to do it for today. I want to thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.